Tonight at 5, bitter cold is on the way, but will it be enough to cancel your child's classes at school? We'll tell you how that decision is made.
Plus, faulty products, why the company acquiring Exact Sciences is warning some people about glucose monitors.
And what lawmakers are proposing to close what they say is a loophole in child sex abuse reporting. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us, everyone. Eric Franke is off today.
Well, if you thought it was already cold, you're in for some bad news because tonight into tomorrow we have an alert day on the way.
That's right, and Alex Harrington is here to explain just how cold, and it's some serious stuff.
It is some serious stuff. When we get those wind chills down to -20, and this is what we've been forecasting for days, and even last week we made a mention, if we get that deep snow, that bitter cold is likely in southern Wisconsin. And this will last through Thursday morning. This is a snapshot here. Tomorrow morning, work and school. It'll feel like -19 in Camp Douglas, -18 in Madison, -15 in Janesville, and even the -9s in Bosqueville and in Prairie du Chien, probably going to be in the teens below zero. That's what we're going to be waking up to in the feels like factor. Temperatures have been tumbling all day behind a cold front. We already are as cold as 15 in Viroqua, 19 in the Dells, 22 in Madison, 25 in Janesville. You really see the difference in the temperatures as that cold air makes its way into southern Wisconsin. And some of our other sites in southern Wisconsin will go to Montello. 19, but it feels like 9 when you add in a northwest wind of just a little bit, just 9-mile-per-hour winds, and that brings that wind chill that feels like factor down into the single digits. Our forecast is all about the alert day cold and how chilly it's going to last here over the course of the next 10 days. When I come back, I'll give you a glimpse of will we ever warm up here over the next 10 days, and also a little bit about small snow chances in the forecast. That's all coming up.
All right, Alex, thank you. And here are some things to remember in this bitter cold. Frostbite can set in within 30 minutes with wind chills at -20. The highest risk is on exposed skin, especially your nose, ears, and fingers. And don't forget your furry friends. The risk is similar on their paws, ears, tail, and nose. Old, small, sick, or very young dogs are also at an increased risk, so limit their and your outdoor activity.
Good advice. So these cold temperatures and all the snow do make for the perfect conditions to stay inside.
Yep, we all know what it's like to be in school during this time of the year, hoping for a snow day. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks talked with one local district with more on how they determine when to cancel school.
We're well into the winter season, and this week southern Wisconsin could face some pretty frigid temps. I had the chance to catch up with the Verona Area School District on how they determine school cancellations due to weather. Winter is in full swing for southern Wisconsin, some parts even seeing record-breaking snowfall over the weekend. This week, our First Warn weather team is forecasting cold daytime and overnight temperatures. I had the chance to catch up with Chad Weezy, Deputy Superintendent of Verona Area Schools. He says school cancellations for cold and snow differ. However, time is of the essence to make a decision for both.
Then we'd really have to make a decision, no later than 5:30 a.m. Because we're in touch with folks like you to make sure our families are informed.
And speaking with local parents, winter weather always gives them pause.
Once our kids were driving, I always wanted them to close when it was dangerous to be out on the roads. And that was always my main concern, is I just couldn't stand seeing them risk driving when it was dangerous and they were new drivers.
And for the Verona Area School District, for cold days, they will cancel if there are sustained winds of -30 during the duration of the school day. For snow, it's more of a collaborative team effort between school staff, other local school districts, and the district's transportation service to determine road conditions. And as the weather changes, you can find the latest on school closings and the weather on our website at channel3000.com. For now, reporting in Verona, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Jalen, thank you. You can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
We have new information right now about a death that happened on Thanksgiving in Lake Monona. The Dane County Medical Examiner is identifying the person recovered from the lake as 43-year-old Kyle Bonnell of Madison. Deputies and fire crews responded about 2 o'clock in the afternoon Thanksgiving for a report of an unconscious person in the water near North Shore Drive. Early results showed that he did drown and more testing is underway.
Lawmakers at the state capitol are looking to close what they call a loophole in reporting child abuse.
Today, the Republican-introduced bill went before the Assembly Committee on Criminal Justice and Public Safety. Our Ellie LaLiberte was there and breaks down how this legislation would work.
Right now, child welfare services are only required to report suspected or threatened cases of sexual abuse or trafficking to law enforcement. But this legislation looks to expand that to all cases.
The bill requires that all reports of suspected or threatened child abuse, regardless of type, must be referred to law enforcement.
This Republican-introduced bill looks to address what the author calls a gap in mandatory reporting. In addition to expanding what cases call for that reporting, it also adds child welfare staff to the long list of mandatory reporters. Now, the legislation passed in the Senate in November along party lines. During that floor session, some Democrats brought up concerns that this legislation could strain law enforcement. The Dane County Sheriff says he supports the bill, but does need additional resources.
We would need to create a sensitive crime unit with at least 7 to 10 sensitive crime detectives. And with this, we would need additionally 2 to 3 stenos to help us with the reports in regards to this.
Reporting at the state capitol, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Ellie. And in Rock County, a Janesville man is dead after a crash this morning. Just after 6 a.m., 2 cars crashed near South Carvers Rock Road and East Highway 14. One driver was headed west on the highway when he crossed into the eastbound lanes, hitting a 64-year-old driver. Now, that driver who crossed all those lanes, the Janesville man, died at the scene. The crash did close a stretch of the highway from Kemp Road to County CM until about 9:45. Sheriff's officials say that they do not suspect anything criminal.
Video shows crews from 6 different agencies responding this morning to a fire in Middleton. Firefighters arrived at the home on Sunset Ridge Drive at about 2:15 this morning. The department says the fire was out, but the scene was still active. No one was hurt. It's unknown how much damage was done. We'll keep you updated right here on News 3 Now on the air and always online at channel3000.com.
Now to continuing coverage of a deadly shooting on Madison's north side last month. Detectives are asking the Dane County District Attorney to charge this suspect, Jonathan Britton, with first-degree reckless homicide and having a gun as a felon. Police arrested Britton the night of the shooting near the Dane County Airport, and he's been in the Dane County Jail since.
Police believe he was involved in the killing of 25-year-old Jamar Willis on November 17th. Officers responded to the area of Brentwood Parkway, not far from Warner Park, that afternoon. They found Willis lying in the street. He was shot and he died at the hospital. The district attorney has not yet charged Britton.
In health news now, the FDA says faulty glucose monitors may be linked to at least 7 deaths and more than 700 more serious injuries. Internal testing from Abbott, the company that recently acquired Exact Sciences, found sensors in some of its Freestyle Libre 3 and Freestyle Libre 3 Plus devices may provide incorrect low glucose readings. About 3 million devices are affected, half of which are estimated to have expired or been used. Anyone with this product should check its model number to see if it is one of the affected devices.
Looking ahead, Dane County Executive Melissa Agard will host a series of public meetings to talk about the recently passed 2026 budget. The meetings are on December 11th in Windsor, the 16th in Maizomanie, the 17th in Deerfield, the 18th in Stoughton, and January 21st in Stoughton. Agard says people can expect updates on the challenges ahead at these sessions. Each of them will last about an hour long.
Well, still ahead, we'll check back with Alex to see when this January-like weather will end.
And our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde is in Green Bay with which player could return to the field for the game against the Bears.
Plus, the holidays are here. And if you haven't done your shopping and shipping yet, now is the time. We'll tell you the deadlines you need to order to get your gifts to arrive by the 25th.
On Wall Street today, the Dow closed up 408 points, the Nasdaq was up 40, and the S&P 500 is up 20. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
on the Bears at Lambeau Field.
It's going to be a good one. Our senior Packers writer Jason Wilde says despite his usual demeanor, Coach Matt LaFleur is being direct about who's going to play in this game.
There are times where you think Packers coach Matt LaFleur must be a pretty good poker player. He hides his intentions. He uses some misdirection with us. He's not doing that this week. It sure sounds like wide receiver Jayden Reed, who led the Packers in receiving and receiving yards each of his first 2 seasons, will indeed be back on Sunday against the Bears here at Lambeau Field. He has not played since fracturing his collarbone on September 11th against Washington here at Lambeau, and he also had surgery to fix a Jones fracture in his foot that he was already playing with. Matt LaFleur not hiding the excitement of what Jayden Reed brings to his offense.
Well, I think, number one, he's got a ton of experience, and you guys see how we've used him in the past in regards to moving him all over the place. There's a lot of things that he brings to our team, just in regards to he's a yak machine. He really does a really good job, whether it's handing him the ball, flipping him a screen, getting him downfield in a pass concept. He does a really good job after the catch. But I think it's all the little things that he does when he's not playing with the football in regards to just the dog mentality he brings to our offense. I mean, he's always doing a lot of the dirty work, digging out safeties, just competing to the highest level.
We'll have a full update on Reed and everything else Packers on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason looks so cold.
If he's cold today, I don't know how he's going to feel, or hopefully he gets to be inside the press box come Sunday.
Hopefully so, yeah. They'll probably want to pack as many people in there as possible. It's going to be cold for the game on Sunday. Not as dangerously cold as what we're expecting tonight, but only the upper teens. It will feel more like January than it will December. So cold weather sticking around here. We got that dangerous cold that we are keeping a very close eye on as we head into the overnight. Going on into Thursday morning, the wind chill still to -20. We were first to put out an alert day for this period, and we started talking about this last week. I bring this up because whenever you have that heavy snowpack that's out there, that's a recipe for that Arctic air to come down from Canada, and it just settles on in and it takes its time in southern Wisconsin. We'll do -19, -17, -17, and -15 going right down the I-90 corridor as we head into Thursday morning for work and for school. That's dangerous stuff. Not as dangerous as we go into Friday morning, but still really cold. Temperatures will be right around 0 in the wind chill department, if not -5 in the wind chill department. This is something I want you to take note of. At -20 wind chills, exposed flesh, so that could be your nose, your hands, face, can run into frostbite in as little as 15 minutes. And don't forget about your furry friends that we were mentioning before. You need to know your dog's limits. It can only be just a couple of minutes outside before they start picking their paws up, letting you know it's too cold for them. Actual air temperatures, I know this is important for folks when we're talking about pipes and insulation, -4. That's a common number tonight with skies clearing out across southern Wisconsin. And as we head into Thursday, this is what I call the deceptive sunshine. Will be sunny. You'll look outside. It looks pretty nice out there with that beautiful winterscape out there. But temperatures, not so nice. They're only going to be in the low, maybe mid-teens if we're lucky on Thursday. Look at this 10-day forecast here. 20s this weekend, back down to 20 on Sunday. That's the Packers game. 24 on Monday, 33. That's as warm as we're going to do here on Wednesday. The normal high right above my head here, 37 degrees. We should be in the 30s this time of year, not in the low to mid-20s or teens. What about precipitation? Small chances. I want to emphasize small. Saturday night, Monday night, and then going on into Tuesday night. These are going to be little Alberta clippers, little weather systems that come in from the north and from the west, bringing us tiny chances for snow. And if we get any accumulation, small amounts, 1-2 inches of that fluffy stuff. Again, the best chance is going to be Saturday night going into Sunday, and then again Monday night going into Tuesday, and perhaps a clipper system on Wednesday at 33 with colder temperatures behind that clipper-like system. But the alert day conditions, they last on Thursday through through about noon or so. So we'll say from approximately 6 o'clock in the morning, or midnight tonight rather, through noon on Thursday. Expect those very, very cold temperatures. Here's that breakdown again of the Packers forecast. I encourage you to wear 3 or 4 green or gold jackets to stay warm enough up in Lambeau Field. And this just in, colder than normal temperatures expected for a wider part of the country. This includes southern Wisconsin, going all the way out, getting closer to Christmas, going all the way out to December 17th. And we'll keep that active weather pattern with small snow chances going out into the future. And I had to put this in here too. Deborah, lakes freezing across southern Wisconsin, no doubt with temperatures as cold as we're expecting tonight. Send us those winter pictures when it's safe. I don't want you outside when it's 20 below tomorrow morning taking pictures. Wait till it warms up at least a little bit. And then at 6, I'm going to talk about the wind chill and how does it work and what that feels like factor means to your body. You don't want to miss that.
Okay, we'll see you at 6, Alex.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks, Alex. And happening tonight, it's the Big Ten opener with the Badger men's basketball taking on the Northwestern Wildcats. The Badgers started the season ranked in the top 25, but had a bumpy non-conference schedule with 2 tough losses before the Big Ten play. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. at the Kohl Center, and you can watch on the Big Ten Network.
And in other sports news on Friday, the Bucks will take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The game starts at 7, and you can watch it on our sister station, Television Wisconsin. That's channel 3.2.
Well, people planning to order their holiday gifts online should start sooner rather than later. The shipping deadline for U.S. Postal Service ground and first-class mail to be delivered before Christmas is in 2 weeks. The priority mail deadline is the 18th, and then FedEx recommends shipping between the 17th and the 23rd. That's for home delivery by December 24th. But their overnight and same-day shipping will also be available until then. UPS recommends shipping packages by December 19th for 3-day select, or December 22nd or 3rd for second or next day arrival.
Catches me every year.
Try to keep all that straight.
Up next at 5, what a new report from a government watchdog found about the Defense Secretary's use of a messaging app to discuss U.S. war plans.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
In national news, first responders in West Virginia had to race to rescue a driver in this tractor trailer. Look at this, dangerously dangling over the edge of a snowy overpass. It's just one of many traffic incidents dozens of states across the country have seen because of snow today. Millions are dealing with the aftermath of the first major storm of the winter that we got earlier. This week, a vaccine advisory panel will vote on guidelines for the hepatitis B birth dose. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. handpicked that panel. Kennedy recently falsely claimed the vaccine is a, quote, likely culprit of autism. Most private insurers have to cover vaccines the panel endorses, and many state policies are directly linked to the guidelines. Their decision could limit children's access to the vaccine.
The Department of Homeland Security is beginning its long-anticipated immigration operation in New Orleans. More than 200 immigration officials are working on the operation with a goal of arresting 5,000 people. The DHS says that it's targeting people who were released after arrests for crimes like home invasion, armed robbery, and sexual assault. This comes after similar operations in Charlotte and Chicago. The city's mayor-elect says the operation is spreading fear across the city.
What they're seeing is what appears to be racial profiling of brown people, and then going after these individuals and treating them like they are these significantly violent offenders.
Meanwhile, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says her department will remove, quote, the worst of the worst from New Orleans.
And the Trump administration's immigration crackdown isn't ending there. In Minneapolis and St. Paul, a new operation is targeting Somali immigrants. At a cabinet meeting yesterday, the president said he does not want Somali immigrants in the country, referring to them as, quote, garbage who should go back to where they came from. Officials in Minnesota say immigration enforcement isn't just targeting immigrants, they're going after Somali U.S. citizens as well.
A classified Inspector General report says Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth risked endangering American troops by sharing sensitive war plans. The report says Hegseth potentially endangered troops when he used the Signal app back in March to share highly sensitive information about planned military strikes in Yemen. One message sent by Hegseth specifically stated when bombs were to be dropped. The Inspector General's report says Hegseth should not have used Signal and that senior Defense Department officials need to be better trained on protocols.
Alex will have a final check of our frosty forecast when we come back.
Tonight, betting it all, the growing multi-billion-dollar industry where you can gamble on just about anything. And they're sometimes called designer babies, from hair color to intelligence levels. We'll take you inside Silicon Valley's push for parents to choose their children's traits. That's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
And then coming up at 6, holiday shopping is more expensive this year. News 3 Now speaks with one of Wisconsin's U.S. senators about why that is and what's being done about it. Finally at 5, more local news. The largest ski equipment resale in the state returns to Madison this weekend.
That's right. People looking to buy new or gently used ski gear should head to Union South at the campus on Saturday and Sunday. People interested in selling can head to UW-Madison's Union South to drop off up to 10 items Thursday and Friday. More specific times on when to get to the Union are at this story on channel3000.com.
You know, for all our complaining about the cold, it is good for the skiers this year. The snow isn't going anywhere. Remember last year it was practically a snowless winter.
50% of what we normally would get in the snow season last year, that's all we got. Now to this snowstorm, we had 11.7 inches in Madison, so we already made 50% this year compared to last year.
Okay, resume complaining.
It's
cold.
It's cold, minus 20 for wind chills tomorrow morning. We've been talking about this for days. Please limit your outdoor activities on Thursday. And what is the wind chill? I'm going to explain coming up at 6 o'clock. This little person's going to be mighty cold by the time we get into the 6 o'clock newscast. And once we get through tomorrow, at least we make some incremental, some baby improvement with the temperature and with light snow chances. But more on what the wind chill is at 6.
Sarah just told me there's a giant fly on my head.
Because we have a fly, it's going to be 20 below.
Why get it off me?
Somewhere around there.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you back here at 6.